Welcome back to a new video. Now that the doors are on, it's time to start dressing things up a little bit. Let's get into it. Once the mirrors and the trims are on, I'll get a better idea of the feel of the car, whether I continue with the chrome. I know it's meant to be black. I'll put those on and then decide whether I want to change to the black door handles or the chrome door handles match the chrome around the trim. Because realistically, if I go to the black door handles, then I'll have to go to full black trim. And I'm not sure if I'm willing to spend that money, as these parts are still usable. I'll get those on and we'll see how we go. If the driver's door breaks again, I will go for new door handles and then see how we go after that. I don't know if you can get blacked out trims of that. I'll have to search that because I don't really want to paint those, because painting chrome inevitably always flakes off. Let's get those mirrors and trims on and see what it looks like. Well, that's door number one done. I also got the passenger side security plate in as well. But I've also learnt that don't put the mirror on before that trim, because you can't do it. Trim has to go before the mirror. I had to take the mirror back off and redo that. But just stepping back, how much better does it make the doors look with that trim and the mirror on? I'll get the driver's door done and I'll get the rear doors done and show you how good it looks. Nice. I have one side completed. However, I continue to have troubles with the driver door, and I'll explain to you what that is. Now, if you look through the inside of the car, you can see white on that door, white on the inside of that door, and I spin around to the driver's side. That door is red, and so is that one. Now, I'm under no illusions that this car at some stage has been in an accident, and I believe those two doors there to be replaced, because the issue that I found, apparently it appears there's a difference in doors. Now, as I've stated beforehand, that I'm going to manual mirrors, not power mirrors. That door there has a large opening for the manual stick movement, whereas this one had a very tight oval shape, and I could not get the mirror in properly, so I've had to just grind out that there so that round piece there on the mirror will let the mirror fit in properly. And I've also had to put another hole there to get the inside trim piece on to cover that. Now, previously when I fixed these mirrors, I knew there was something different with this door, but I never delved into it because they weren't on the car. But now, seeing that there is an issue, there appears to be power, correct me if I'm wrong, there appears to be manual mirror doors and power mirror doors, or one of them is a VK, one of them is a VL. I don't know, but there is definitely a difference. So now that that's ground out, I can finally fit that mirror and we're up to date. Done. The other mirror is now on, fitting properly. Now it's time to turn our attention back to the interior and get those door trims on. But first I need to plug in all the wiring, the central locking and the power window switches, so that they're working when the door trims are on. I was gonna call it a night, but I couldn't help myself. I just had to put one of the trims on. It's on and sitting where it needs to be. I need to put the trims around the handle and the central locking, and then work out where all those wires for the power window switch goes, which I have here. But I'll have to read the workshop manual for that, and that can wait till tomorrow. And I also need to attach the handle as well, but that can wait. I've got some news happening here with the electric window switch. Now these old ends will not fit on the new switches that I have, which I bought maybe 5 years ago from China for about $2 each. These genuine GM ones are known to go pretty bad, and this one's no different. Doesn't really work, but I've got the ignition on. Take a gander at this. I have a working window on the door. Now I just need to terminate the ends, make sure they don't short out on any of each other. Whack the door handle on. Side finished. I've also got that piece around there. For some reason that one's chrome. I don't know whether the other ones I got a chrome or not. I have to check those. But going well. Catch a glimpse of this. If I open this door, look at that. That is one side finished. Window switch in and working. Door handle back on. Excellent. I will recommend, before putting your door trim on, you find the holes for the handle to screw on, or you'll be taking it back off. That was quite difficult. Had some issues with the switch, the window switch. I soldered on all the terminals, and then the switch wouldn't work because I had it backwards and the light was coming on and it was crazy. I cut them all off and figured out what I'd done wrong and had to resolder everything back on, and it's all good now. Now let's turn our attention to that door and continue on our merry way. Onto the passenger side rear door. I've been doing some things. I've got the switch now wired up as it should be. Changed some plugs around. However, this rear window is very sluggish. So I've just been doing some lubrication on it, just going up and down, a few times. It's getting better. So it's almost ready to put the trim back on. Just needs a little bit more work, loosening up those pulleys and cables, just getting them greased up, and then it's ready to put that trim on, and we'll move on to the front doors. As someone's house alarm goes off, that's another door done, which now completes the back half of the car. Time to get on with the front doors. I was about ready to put the front door trim on, just getting the grab handles ready, and noticed that I'm missing the plastic bit on the end of here. I have absolutely no idea where that could be. Now that looks something like this. If I show you the driver's side one, it has meant to have one of those on the end. I don't know what's happened to the passenger one. So I've found some online and ordered them, so I need to wait for that to come. When putting this into the door, it goes in, slides there, and as you rotate it up, it locks it in so it stays in position like that. So can't really do much until that comes on this door, but having a bit of trouble with the central locking. I've got no power at the actuators. I've actually got power in the fuse box, but there's something going on between the fuse box and then the doors. They're all individual at the moment, so we're doing jack scrapper there. But if I pop into the car and just turn the ignition on, I've been playing with the power windows and they are working. So they're working as they should, and the rear ones are working from the master switch as well. But this central locking is an issue. I don't want to put the door trims on until I've sorted that out, because they're just going to have to come off, and when they come off, that's when you break things, and I don't want them on and off like a yo-yo. So I don't know where I'm meant to look next. I've been out here a while trying to suss it out, and it don't want to work. Not that I'm too much worried about that. This is the problem. If I go to open the locks with the key, I don't want to unlock. So I don't want to lock the car and then never be able to get back into it. So I want to sort that out. When I'm doing it with the key on the outside, when I unlock it, it only goes to about there, and you still can't open it, and it just needs to go that little bit further, and I can't turn it. So I think when they're powered up, you know, they slide really fast, but for some reason, got no power going to the actuators. So I have to work that out. This central locking is doing my head in. Cannot find for the life of me what is missing to give it any power. And what I've decided is, all right, if you're not going to work, I'll replace you. And what better way to do it than with not just central locking, but with keyless entry as well. So I went out and bought a generic central locking kit. Now this is the plan. I've removed the old solenoid from the car, and they do have this piping on the top, and I've taken it off, and look at the rubber. It's just perished beyond perished. This one is really tight. It still works. I did ended up connecting, you know, I've got the wiring laid out on the floor. I did connect one of them up to that solenoid with the wiring, and it did work. So the plan with the other 3 doors, I'm just going to splice in this wiring into those solenoids, and that'll get those working without having to replace all the motors. So the only one I'm going to replace is this passenger one here. So I've got that sitting in there now at the moment, and I will hide all the wiring under the glove box. I know this is probably meant to be the driver one, but I've got power, everything ready to go here. So that's why I'm putting it on this side. All I need to do is put this one, as this one has, you know, all the wiring that connects to the little brain over here. So once that is connected in, then I will zoom out, tap into the rear doors, which the wiring runs under here. I'll splice into, I've already been hunting for that, which is the grey and the tan wire. So I tap into those and connect those wires into those wires, That'll make these ones work, and that will allow me not to take off the rear door trims again on both sides. Now you wouldn't believe it, I'm still waiting for this silly little plastic here to complete the armrests. It's been a week and I haven't seen anything, and the shipping date on it says 2 weeks. How the hell can 2 little bits of plastic coming from Melbourne to Melbourne take 2 weeks? Ridiculous. But that gives me time to sort out this central locking on keyless entry, blah, blah, blah. And we're good to go. I have, when I did have it wired up, one on the floor, one in the door, or onto that old one, pushing the buttons on the blippers, that does work. So that's a good thing. I'm happy with that. Now it's just a matter of mounting that actuator in the door in the right spot, and then connecting in the wiring. One to that door, I have to run the other ones across to the front footwell at least, and I can splice in there, and that'll get everything working. I'll catch you up when I've got something working. I've been working away, and have a look at this. The passenger side of the car is locked. Door not open. Door not open. I get my clicker and I go click, and door opens, and door opens. I have 2 working doors that are keyless. Now to sort out this mess and put it back together, get the wires over to this side of the car and do the same thing. Driver's side now works. Now this side was a little more difficult than the passenger. Turns out the actuator on this side was shot, so I replaced it with the one from the aftermarket kit. But in the process, I also worked out why the lock would not open with the key. While pulling it apart, what's Rocky barking at? Right. While pulling the mechanism out, this fell off and I couldn't remember which way it went back on. So I looked at the passenger side door, and going by all the overspray on the back side of this, I thought, why is that different? And if you look at this, there's a longer tang and a shorter one. This was the other way around. The long one was up there, the short one was here. And that's why when I tried to unlock with the key, it wouldn't just, unlock. It would get there, but not quite. Now that, or the other reason that I thought that trying to bolt the new actuator in, I couldn't line up the bottom hole of the thing, and thinking what's going on here. So that triggered something in my head, which then, worked out to be that whoever was here before me had that on the wrong way. So I'm guessing that they had issues with the central locking at some stage, because that would not open all the way. But if I grab the clicker and go like that, you can see it is now working. Back door working. So all the doors are working. That should be unlock. And if I hit the thing, we are now locked. So now I have full keyless entry to the car with the central locking working. I can now get to putting the front door trims on and getting this video done. I am still waiting for that stupid bit of plastic to go on that door handle from the stupid idiots that take forever to post. You know who you are. But I can do the driver's door, and hopefully by the time I do that, probably tomorrow, I'm going inside now to watch the Sandown 500. Hopefully by then that stupid bit of plastic comes and I can get that door trim on and wrap this video up. Catch you soon when I've got some more shit done. Well, it's been 7 days since I last filmed and I've got some stuff done. Take a look at this. I have front door trims on both sides of the car. And here's the driver's side. Now the reason why I haven't videoed for a week is I just wanted to get stuff done. Obviously my plastic for the top of the door handles came in. All the central locking sorted out. And what I ended up doing was I wasn't quite happy with the rear actuators. So what I ended up doing was taking the door trims back off the rear, replacing the actuators so that they're all new, so I don't have to go back in at any stage in the future. They're ready to go. Or I don't have to come back in the future and fix out the old 40-year-old ones that are going to break down. They're all new, they all work, happy days. All doors lock and unlock at the same time. I did have trouble with this one, that's why I wanted to change it. The slide would not slide once I wired it in. So if I'm going to do one, I might as well do both. So I just done all 4 doors. End of story, done. Happy days. Now that the door trims are on, that almost wraps up the whole, installing the interior. I still do want to do that mirror switch with the power button in, affix the sunglass holder, and that'll pretty much, fix up any loose ends inside the interior. That we can close the doors and we're done. Now that I have the door trims, doors, all of that installed, that will wrap up this video. Now it has taken me a lot longer than I'd hoped. It's taken me about 3 weeks to install these door trims. And mainly that is because of those central locking actuators that I could not get working. Then decided to replace. But the good thing on that is now we have remote central locking, which means keyless entry. When I drive the thing, I don't have to fumble around with keys and have them dangling, scratching paint. I can just push a button and the doors are open. Anyways, on that note, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you next time when I hope that I've got the boot finished and we'll get that back on the car, and we're very close after that. Ciao, ciao.